Today I'm going to be talking about how to build your meal plan or building meals, and this is really important because once you start understanding the concepts of how to put meals together, it makes this process far easier to get results in terms of performance but also how you look as well. Now at Box, what we look to do is we look to build balanced meals, and again this is critical or key to enable you to have enough food to fuel, to recover, but also to ensure that you don't overeat and affect your body composition. So we need to look at a few main components. The first one is lean protein or protein, and protein is there to essentially build and repair muscle, and whatever your goal, whatever your sport, it's critical that this is a key part of your diet. For more information about quantities and also sources, make sure you check out the macronutrients video where I do actually go through protein in a little bit more detail. So the next component are carbohydrates, and these are still critical despite kind of some talk of low carbohydrate training. When it comes to endurance performance, carbohydrates still are king when it comes to fueling and also recovery. The third one is we're looking to get nutrients from vegetables, and really kind of the idea with this is just from a health perspective. A healthy athlete is a better athlete. We also need to have some fat in our diet, and this again is for energy, similar to carbohydrates, but more long-term energy, but also from a health perspective it helps with hormones as well. And lastly, we need some flavour. So we need to start understanding how we can use herbs and spices to help meals become more palatable and that you actually enjoy. So then all you need to do is, with the guide that you've got and some of the resources available to you, is simply choose one from each of these components and put your meals together. So you'll choose a protein portion, a vegetable portion, carb, fat, and then add some flavour, and this is going to give you a balanced meal. But how much do you actually need of each? So when it comes to typical portions, these will differ depending on the person, but hopefully this will give you a bit of an insight into how to balance your meals in terms of numbers. So firstly, we're looking at our female portions. What we're looking to do is we're looking for around 20 to 25 grams of actual protein. So it's not 20 to 25 grams of the food. You need to plug it into something like MyFitnessPal and find out how much protein is in that food. Again, use the cheat sheets we've got available under macronutrients, or use MyFitnessPal just so you start getting a better understanding of food values. In terms of real money, how to actually get this 20 to 25 grams of protein, we're looking at 80 grams of lean meat, fish, again 150 milliliters of egg whites, you can buy these in a carton now, dairy here as well, and also protein powder. For guys it's going to be more, it's probably going to be about 30 to 40 grams, and again you can see on the right hand side here how much of real food you're going to need to hit that 40 grams of protein. The next component is carbohydrates, and this is a little bit more difficult to give you set guidelines. It's really going to depend on you as an individual, so how big you are and also the training you're doing. But usually what we're looking at is we're looking around about 1 gram per kilo of body weight or race weight or target body weight as a pre-workout, say meal, or this gives you a basic portions for your main meals. For snacks, normally it will be about half of this. So once you kind of can figure this out, it makes kind of building these meals far easier. What I have also done in the members area, you can actually get a guide of how to put together, say, 60, 70, and 80 grams of carbohydrates. So make sure you do have a look at that. Just to give you a bit of an insight, again, we're not looking at 30 grams of the food, we're looking at 30 grams of carbohydrates. So 2 medium slices of whole bread will give you that 30 grams, 45 grams of dry basmati rice, and 1 small sweet potato will give you 30. For guys, it's probably better to look at that kind of 50 gram mark where you can see here what will give you this 50 grams of actual carbohydrates. The last of the main food groups is going to be the fat. So for this we can kind of use a hand method, which is going to be 1/3, or for women we're looking for around about 15 grams, and it's a little bit easier to do with fat because it's usually quite similar. So a tablespoon of different oils will normally give you that, say, 15 grams, and cheese we're probably looking about something similar, maybe slightly more. Guys, it's going to be double the amount, where we're looking for about 30 grams or 2 thumbs. But I think what is important to remember is, even though we're following these guidelines for your meals, this kind of enables you to move away from the tracking. But your total amount still supersede this. So if you're not really wanting to just follow a method like this, what you could do, just follow MyFitnessPal or use MyFitnessPal to give you and follow the actual calories and macros that you have been set. So now I'm just going to actually go through some balanced breakfast ideas, or just to give you an insight in how you can actually put meals together. So oats with low-fat Greek yogurt or milk, blueberries and crushed nuts. So you've got your oats, which are carbohydrates. You've got blueberries, which, although are a bit of a carbohydrate, you can class these as veg as well. Greek yogurt, which is your protein, and nuts, which is your fat. You could add whey protein there for a little bit more protein if you wanted to. A parfait, it could be just Greek yogurt, mixed nuts. And when I say builders, people who need to put on a little bit of weight potentially, you could add peanut butter and whey. Toast, eggs and spinach. Again, you've got carbohydrates with your toast, scrambled eggs, which has your protein and your fat, and spinach and tomato is going to be your vegetables. Smoothie, again, there's lots of different combinations here, but it's a really easy one to balance your breakfast. And again, something like an omelette with veg, add your toast, potentially add fruit or a fruit salad, which again could be your carbohydrate portion. A few other examples here include frittatas. Again, you could add toast, you could have porridge on the side potentially. Muesli with Greek yogurt. You've got your muesli, which is your carbohydrates, Greek yogurt, which is your protein, and a piece of fruit. Oops, typo there. Again, that could be as part of your fruit and veg. So a few things to think about or practice. And for main meals, again, I don't want to go through all of these because they are in your guide, but what you'll see is that we're looking for, say, like a meat or a fish, which would be your protein, vegetables, again, which is going to be veg, some sort of carbohydrate, so it might be potatoes or bread, it might be noodles, it could be quinoa, it could be pasta. But what you'll see with a lot of these meals, it's that one portion of carbohydrates, one portion of protein, one portion of fat. And once you begin to understand this process of putting these meals together, the whole concept or how you actually you build your meal plan really does become a lot easier. And lastly, once you begin to balance your meals, what's something that you are going to have to adjust is actually your snacks, because different sessions or different training sessions are going to require different fueling strategies. If you're going to be doing a hard effort, it's going to require more carbohydrates than something like an easy ride. Likewise, if it's your day off or recovery day, you're not going to need as many carbohydrates. And I find the easiest way to adjust this is just through your snacks. So on days that you're not training, I would opt for green snacks, which tend to be lower in calorie. Whereas days that you're, say, training once, it might be a case that you look at some of your orange snacks. Where days that you've got particularly hard sessions, so maybe your intervals, your efforts, your speed work, this is where you're going to probably look for some of your red snacks. Some of the carb boosts at the end, again, this is in that guide. This is just to give you something quick and immediate energy. So if you don't have much time, so if you don't have that, say, 2 to 3 hours to digest anything, what you might want to do is have some of these like sugary type of snacks, which will get into the system a bit more quickly. So there you have it. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an understanding about how to actually balance your meals and put that meal plan together. Make sure you download the document below, and any other questions, just make sure you let me know.